Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, I am a clay artist and I also make stickers. You can check out my Etsy shop, I'll link it in the description below. Today I am going to work on some new items that I want to release in my shop and some of my old items like my strawberry bear and my seals. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in and I hope that you enjoy this video. So, it's been 3 days since I filmed that intro. I ended up getting super frustrated when I was filming and had to cut off all the cameras and just do my clay things. So I will give you a quick rundown of what I made that day and what I plan on doing today instead of the things that I made last time. So let's get to it! So instead of filming that day, I actually did a workshop day and was trying to come up with some new designs. I ended up coming up with these strawberry seals, which are a variation of my octopus seals and sleepy seals, but with a strawberry instead. In addition, I also created these circle cows, which are another version of my cube cows. And lastly, I workshopped this little bear holding another strawberry. If you couldn't tell, I really love strawberries and all things pink. Hence, I changed my sheets to match the video. In terms of things that I made for personal interest, I made this super tiny bear. And I'm probably going to put it on my phone as like a little phone charm. Let me know if you want me to make phone charms. I feel like they're super cute, but they're also really annoying because it's so hard to make things small. And my vision is getting slowly worse and worse. Man, my prescription keeps going up and up. So maybe to preserve my health, I won't do it. Unless you guys want me to. I will gladly sacrifice my vision for these little guys. Right, so basically I have this pre-mixed white clay that I'm going to use to make these cute little cows. I'm going to try to make them all around the same size, so roughly measure out the size of the sphere. So I've rolled out these two spheres and now I have to work on the legs and the ears of the cow. So I'm just going to roll out the clay so that I have even sections about the size of the legs. Cut a piece. Ooh, it's a little uneven. And then I'll roll them individually into little leg shapes. Once the legs are assembled, I will reshape my spheres a little bit. Try to make it as even as possible, and then place it down, roll out the legs. Here, then I like to find the bottom of the cow and stick on these little legs, measuring for size. I think these are a little big, so I'm actually going to cut off a little bit of clay. I have these little teardrop shapes of clay pre-made, and I'll just stick them on the top of the head like so. The other side. And then to smooth it out, I just like to roll this. We've got a nicely attached ear for our little guy. And now we can move on to making the mouth shape, which I have this pink clay already mixed. I want the mouth to be sort of chunky. Little mouth indents. Nostrils. Take this and just press 2 holes in there. And then I can stick them on the face. Snack break. So while my clay things are baking in the oven, I thought I would answer one of the questions that someone left a comment on my previous YouTube video. I have my answer and notes typed out here on my computer. Also, I have a couple of my stickers on here. The comment that I received on my YouTube video was asking about my thoughts about success and failure. So I'll read the success definition on Google. Success is a term that means different things to different people. For some, success may mean reaching a certain level of financial stability or professional achievement. In contrast, for others, success may mean having a fulfilling personal life or positively impacting the world. Success to me, or basically anyone in general, is a very individualistic thing. Everyone has their own definition of success based off what they lack in their life or what goals that they want to achieve. For me personally, I think success comes from forming healthy relationships with people and creating something meaningful. For example, like my clay stuff, and being generally content with who you are as a person. In terms of forming healthy relationships, I think that generally finding people that you really connect with and can talk to is so important for living a happy life. They say, when you get older, you definitely want to continue having a community because that's what keeps you young and active and social. It makes sure that your brain is still fully functioning and you're engaging with other people. Just go outside and talk to someone, it's so important. Anyways, besides that little rant, creating something meaningful for yourself, I think for me, that means creating just anything, like whether that be my art or clay things, or, you know, just making things that I can look at and feel like this is the only one to exist in the world. That partially makes my life, fulfilling, because the things that I create give me a lot of meaning. We live in this huge universe. There's so many people, so many living things. It's kind of easy to fall into the idea of, I'm just a tiny speck in the universe. But I think if you really hone in on what you can do, what you can make, I think that can really make you feel special. I know it definitely does for me. That's why I continue to make these things, because they provide so much value and meaning in my life. Being generally content with who you are as a person, I feel like this is super important. Like, I mean this in terms of your values. Like, if you have an identity that you're satisfied with, for me, some of those things would come from kindness. I try to treat most people with kindness and devotion and generosity. I feel like these are some of the traits that I value, and I actively try to be this person that is kind to everyone. Being generally content with who you are, you could even write down a list of your traits, and I think if those traits you truly know in your heart are good and make a difference, then you can be content with who you are as a person. I do not mean that you can just lay back and stop trying if you think that you're a god. That's not what I mean. That's a bit narcissistic. But I mean, if you're generally kind and you treat people with respect, then I think, you should be proud of that. To address the financial stuff, I do think financial stability is important, because if you're financially stable, then you don't have to worry about providing for yourself. So, my phone overheated while I was going on that little rant. But basically where I left off was I was saying that financial stability is really important, since if you're financially stable, you don't have to worry about providing for yourself or for other people. Professional achievement is also important, but I'd also account for what profession and how it impacts the world. So overall, success is super broadly defined. People have different backgrounds and lives that make their version of success different. But for me, it comes down to being a good person, creating something meaningful to the world, and being generally content with who you are. I think if you have those three things, you can call yourself successful and satisfied with your time on the earth. Yeah, I think it's something that people should be proud of and should work on. But anyways, everyone has their own definition of success, so do what you gotta do. It's not up to me to tell you what to do, it's up to you. So, in addition, the other part of this question was asking about failure. So, failure, according to Google, is an act or instance of failing or proving unsuccessful, or i.e. a lack of success. Which I think is interesting, because I just talked about what success is. Failures can be big and small, I think, in many ways. I would consider it a failure if I didn't achieve those things that I listed in my tiers of success, or, necessary things to be successful. Failure in particular, I think, doesn't capture the whole picture. People usually feel like, oh, I shouldn't fail, it would be bad for me and humiliating, and I have to suffer through all these consequences. But I think failure is only bad if you see it in that way. For example, when I started my business, my small business, I was getting mostly sales from family and friends, which honestly is a great thing. It's wonderful. But over time, you can't rely on that. If you're going to run a business, you have to expand. But for a long time, I wasn't getting any sales from anywhere else. So if I had looked at that failure and thought, oh, this is probably a waste of money and I should stop now, then I probably wouldn't have started this YouTube channel. And I probably wouldn't have gotten to this point where I am making more global sales. I say global, I mean within America. But honestly, I think failure is less so about actually failing and more so about what you do with it. So yeah, I think taking an active role in your life can really help you determine what failure does to you and how successful you are at the end of the day. But anyways, I don't want to get too preachy. If you skip this section of the video, I understand. Anyways, let's get back to clay stuff. Now that we've got our little cows baked, we can work on sanding off all of the little dust particles and painting on the little details that this little guy has, like his little heart butt. Now that my little clay cows are all sanded down, I can finally get to painting. I've been using Liquitex Professional Acrylic Gouache because it's the only black paint that I own at the moment. So yeah. The sun has finally set, so that means I can get to glazing these little cows. The reason why I don't do it during the day is because when the UV comes in from my window, the resin hardens and it's hard to spread it onto the charms. So now that the sun isn't so strong, we can get into it. The sun has set, which means it's time for me to get ready to go to sleep. I will check in with you guys tomorrow with the cows. I did realize some issues though. I forgot the tail. Now he just has an empty butt in the back. It's okay. I will remember the tail in the next couple cows that I make. So it's a brand new day, and I don't know if you can hear the birds, but they're having a crazy time in the tree over there. So yeah, I've decided to spend some time outside this morning. It's really noisy today, oh my gosh. I have my little circle cows. They're enjoying themselves. Yeah, let me just show you how they look. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in for another video. I hope that you enjoyed, watching me make some little cows. Yeah, I think I don't know what else to say in this video. Filming is hard. Just